So, hello everyone. Once again, I'm very happy to see you today and some familiar faces, or familiar names. And today we will be discussing about relocation strategy, how to choose your path and follow your dreams. Making this lecture today from a mentorship program called Side Steps. The first, I will introduce briefly myself. Who am I? Let me just make laser points. Yeah, so my name is Evgenia, and currently I'm working as a technical lead at a startup called Neology in the area of green energy. And before this, I did my postdoc at ETH and also my doctoral studies I also did at the same university. In my free time, I am a mentor in women in green hydrogen, and also I used to be a mentor in the other Russian-based program called the Science Mentors. And actually, currently, I'm studying on the career coach in the school career way, and also I'm a co-founder and the program coordinator of the Side Steps program. That's shortly about me. And also today we have my colleague from Side Steps, Ilya, who is helping me from all the, yes, if there is any technical issues, he will be the person to refer to. And what we will be covering today. So I made my talk into three parts. First is the preparation for the relocation, which includes a lot of self-reflection. The second part would be focused on the validation of your thoughts and your ideas about the place of relocation and the research group, etc. And the last part, last but also very important, is actually how to structure your job search and how to understand how much effort you would need to put into it. And as a disclaimer, we would not discuss today the visas and other documentation. And also, sad, but that's true, there is no magic pill on how can you make it just happen like this. The good strategy of relocation requires quite a lot of work from your side and a lot of deep thoughts and validation. So then let's jump into it. The first part is the self-reflection part. Why I insist that is very important, and I insist not to skip that, because it's very easy actually to chase someone else's dream. What I mean by this, for example, you're working in an environment where everyone is working like 10, 12 hours a day, and those people seems to you happy, and they like this way of living. And it might seem that these people are successful and they're happy in their way. And you start accepting that this is a definition of success and happiness. However, and then you try to live the same way, try to follow the same path, and you find that it actually doesn't work for you. You don't feel the same way as those people. And of course, that happens because the success and happiness for you can be different. So it's very important to understand what that means for you and how you find your best way of working, your work balance, your day-to-day life. And that is why I say it's very important to actually answer honestly for yourself, what is the purpose of your relocation? What are you not able to find there where you are right now? And which, let's say, which problems you are trying to solve with that? Are you trying to find a different boss, for example, that you don't like on your current working place? And then you have to validate, is that a reason that's problem can be solved by relocation. What are the chances that you find the same problems with, for example, your boss once you relocate? Um, I want you to reflect a little bit and maybe write in the chat when you think about relocation, what is your purpose for it? Why you want to relocate and which problems are you solving with that? And I want to try to see the chart as well. If you can share it, what are your thoughts behind it, and what would you like to achieve by relocation? Anyone has any thoughts about it who wants to share? Experience, personal growth, yes, better salary and career prospects. Yeah, that sounds reasonable, yes. Experience, that is definitely what requires in many positions to have international experience to, yeah, to be able to change your perspective on the way you work, on the way you talk to people, and to be open to other cultures. Mhm. It's good. And let's forward. On the chat. Okay. Um, what how actually to put your relocation into your life when you how do you decide, okay, what where I want to go, how I want to go, and what is the next step? uh, I always say that the relocation and in general your next career move should be within your long-term career goal. What So it should not be just randomly decide, okay, now I go that place. It needs to be as a part of some your bigger plan that we will also discuss on the next slide. And what is also important, when you decide for the relocation, for example, when you have a question, how do I go? Which positions do I find there? And it's quite important, and we also will talk about this later. So when you relocate, try to choose the position as close as possible to your current role, where you are right now. And when I talk about relocation, I always talk about three those pillars. It's a geography, so we need to think about the geography of the location. Then the area of your interest, that also can be included area of scientific interest, and the working environment that includes the team you work with, for example, or if we talk about academia, which collaborations the research group has, for example. And let's talk about this a little bit into more uh, details. So what is the long-term career goal and why is it important? So the long-term career goal is it's not just a position in a specific company. This is a range of possibilities that you would like to have in your future, maybe 10, 20 years. That includes um, your view on self-realization on the job. And again, it's important that's important not to formulate and not to think about long-term career goal as a job in a company, because would be just too narrow. And imagine that you wouldn't be able to be a sales director in Coca-Cola, and then what, your career is going completely wrong, which is that's not true. And how then to formulate it? Um, it it should include your personal strengths, should include your personal values, your interests, experience that you would like to use at that career stage, and also some criteria for the environment um, where you can be most of yourself, where you can use your strengths in the most optimal way. I also put here as an example for it's one way of how it can sound is that I want to influence the implementation of new environmentally friendly solutions in the field of chemical technology in a large international company. And then you say how you want to do it through understanding the industry, the ability to make decisions, develop solutions, and manage people. Then you can also add something more personal to you that I want to realize myself, or that's how you envision the self-realization, right? Self-fulfillment. Want to realize myself by implementing my ideas and projects and developing, empowering my direct reporters. Those your values. You value development of people. You value development of your own ideas. And you see this career goal can be realized, for example, both in industry and in academia. It's if you take the position of professor who has quite large influence in the industry and can participate in the decision making, that can be a role, for example. The same for industry. So you actually widen your possibilities. I also suggest that we can pause now for a second and think how could you right now fit your long-term career goal? What would you like to achieve? Which strengths, values, interests can be in this? Doesn't need to be formulated so thoroughly, or at least a little bit as a first step. And if you can share in the chat, it also would be curious to hear. I will open the chat again. Or if you have any questions, you can also freely ask in the chat. Maybe it takes a little bit more time for people to think. You can continue if you start this process of thinking and you would like to share, just please do it in the chat and we can come back to this later, maybe at the end of the lecture. And in the meantime, I can go further. So exactly. And now, if you have your long-term career goal formulated in at least some way, from here you can already think, okay, what actually I need to be able to move forward? What can be my first step towards this career goal? Then we can think now of the geography, area of your interest, and the environment, having in mind this first step that you can do right now. When you talk about the geography on relocation, you can think about what languages actually do you like? Do you already start study now some language that you feel comfortable with? You can also think about if you want to relocate to a big city. You want to live or it can be a small village. Is it it's all good. There is nowhere there is right or wrong answer. It's really you need to think what is better for you, how you want to what you want to get from your relocation experience. You can also think about what cost of life you want to live in, and what is the quality of life. Typically, it's corresponds if we take Europe, South and North countries, for example. When you reflect on the area of your interest, you can start thinking about, would you like to continue the research topic that you have right now, or would you like to change it? It's again, it's there is no right or wrong. You can continue and develop the expertise where you are right now, or you can study some similar topic. That is this point. Are you open to switch and to widen your knowledge? Um, is that an option? Is it interesting for you? You can also think when you talk to your colleagues during lunch break or coffee break, what actually gives you energy when you can track your energy level when you're talking and see when you start to be exciting and you want to talk more about, then this is the topic that really interests you. And also when you talk about the environment, it's very important in which team you have and what is the environment of it, how they work, what is the work-life balance. You can start thinking about which collaborations you are interested. Is it academic or industrial collaboration? What would be, that's what we mentioned, the working culture. Um, do you want to, work from 8 to 8 and publish 10 papers, or would you prefer to work a little bit calmer? And that's what you want to get out of your relocation experience. What is other values, your personal values that should be considered? For example, how international the team is, or on the opposite, would you like to be like immersed in the culture of the country? That's it. Again, it's up to you, and I suggest you maybe write down all the answers on this, or just thought about it. Mhm. And then I want to propose you to do an exercise that helped me in my time when I was doing it very, very much, is to understand what actually motivates you, uh, which which tasks I would like to do more, which tasks I would like to do less, and actually what brings me joy during the work. You don't do it right now. You can take it with you as a homework. Um, for example, write down at least 20 day-to-day tasks. You come to the office, you start drinking the coffee with the colleagues, you check your emails, you reply to the emails, you prepare to your daily meetings, you present during the meetings, you perform experiments, you plan experiments. So as detailed as possible. You do more than 20, that is even better. Then to each task, you assign sign plus or minus, independent if it takes your energy or it actually gives you energy. And some tasks actually can take your energy and also give you energy depending on the situation. This is also you can mark there. Then the next step, very important that you think honestly with yourself why these tasks takes or give the energy. And here I suggest to perform 5 times wise. Okay, replying emails takes my energy. And then you say, okay, why does it take my energy? Because I don't know what to write. I don't know what to write. Then you say, okay, why does the fact that I don't know what to write in this emails takes my energy? Then you reply, because I feel that I'm spending too much time on this. Then again, why the fact that you're spending too much time, it affects you so negatively? Then you feel that you are probably not utilizing your energy correctly, that you're just wasting yourself, your time. Then again, why that fact that you're wasting your energy takes your energy? Wow, that's an interesting phrase. And then like this, so you find at the end, you start seeing the patterns um, that, few different tasks will end up that's actually the root of the task, why you like it or why you don't like it is the same. I have here an example that we can show. So for example, here, weekly meetings, project meetings, chat with colleagues, reading news or reports. That is my judgment. So sometimes it's negative, sometimes it's positive. Why? Because I like seeing how each team member contributes to the project. And then if I follow 5 whys, I would understand, okay, I like to see how we move towards a common goal. Different people, doing completely different job, but we are going to the same goal. And that's what motivates me. Project meetings, it's again, I don't like, it takes my energy when colleagues don't understand each other and then talking about the same topic for 1 hour and long and long and long. When it brings me energy, when I can give input, when there is a brainstorming, when we work together as a team. And it's again what motivates me. And all of this, it's that we contribute to the common goal. And that's the second part, that I can be useful. I give my value and I feel that I'm part of the common success. And if you see there's 1, 2, and here another one, I need a goal, it's all clusters that's it's important for me, for example, personally, to have a goal and have a common goal where we can move together. So that is an example how you can do this task, and maybe you will find your own those patterns that motivates you and then interests you. And then there's a next step. You can think, okay, what can I do with this? You can try to have more, obviously, during your day-to-day tasks that motivates you. Since now you can measure it, you can control it. Try to think how can you avoid things that do not motivate you and take your energy, and bring more things that motivates you. And the same, why we do this exercise when we discuss about the relocation, because this is what you can probe in your new group, in your new team where you want to apply, how those points, how those goals, for example, do they work in a team? Do they have open and clear communication? How is the work structure? You can probe those points into your future work, and that's how you would decide, do I go for this or I don't go? Okay, so up to now, we have, if you would perform all these exercises on your own, you will figure out where you want to go, what do you want to do in the ideal case scenario. Now you can see my ideal case scenario. And as a sum up to now, what you would have understanding on why and how you want to relocate. You have an idea, at least as a first draft, of your long-term career goal. You have list of countries and city that would attract you. You have criteria for the next working place and environment. And I'm sure you would have a list of questions without answers. And that's where we go now, is the validation of your thoughts. That's we will do it through the networking. And why, again, this stage is very important, because that's about expectations and realities. There is a lot of in Netflix or other media, and the film industry, movie industry, that romanticize a lot of cities or a lot of professions. And it's very important not to fall for it, and actually to understand if that is really like this or not. And that's not always those expectations, and what we see in the movies not always corresponds to the reality, of course. And how to avoid those surprises? It's talk to people who have relevant experience to what you need. That is networking. So how we structure the second part of this presentation is we'll discuss how to search and for whom to search, how to set a call, how to prepare your questions for an interview, how actually to conduct an informational interview. And Then the next stage is to adapt your goals based on the new information that you get. And here is a bonus. Well, when you talk to people, when you express your interest in their position and their life, they can remember you. And for example, if there is a open position in the company, and they remember that you were interested in that, they could recommend you, they could remember you and suggest you actually. So that starts working on you afterwards. So search for people for whom we actually should search. I suggest to search for at least 2, 3 people from the country or the city of your choice. If you would like to move to Milan, try to search for 2, 3 people from Milan, and ideally those who also made this experience of relocation, ideally from your city of from your country. Try to look for 2 or 3 people from the specific scientific group where you want to go or you consider to go, or from the company where you want to relocate, or if you relocate through the study program, um, try to find the people from from the study program or who already finished that program and just talk to them. If you have some special conditions, you're, for example, moving with a family or with a dog, you can also search for people who already made this path and talk to them. Why I'm saying 2 or 3 people? Because we have to bear in mind that we are talking about their experience and specifically um, their view on the things. Um, and it may be that they have their needs and their way of living is very different from yours. And we it's not ideal to rely just on one personal opinion. So more opinions you get, better. So 2, 3 as an average, that should be okay. Otherwise, you would have too many interviews and you wouldn't do anything else apart from informational interviews. Where to look for those people? The first place where you look, it's your surroundings and the friends of your friends. Of course, you can also look in LinkedIn. That is the huge source of people, or other social networks that you have. Maybe in the place where you work right now, you have some communities where you can ask and then ask the friends of those people or the network of those people. If there's really no way where you can ask and you have right now no idea where to start, you can always write to me, and I have access to a lot of chats with the people who already performed some relocation, and I can try to see who can help you to find the answers on your questions. Or you can write to anyone from a Side Steps program. Oh, Ilya has a cat, and it's very sweet. Hmm, that's nice. Now you probably have a lot of like questions in your head. Oh, is it normal to write to random people? What happens if you annoy them and you can be just afraid to write to the person you don't know? And yes, I'm with you. It's normal to have such thoughts, and especially if you live in post-Soviet country where the mentality of networking is not very well developed, and so that is okay. What I can say on this, that's actually a lot of people like talking about their experience and their, they like to talk and to explain what they are doing in their career and their and in their working space, in their working place. What is their job? So people enjoy talking about themselves. And a lot of people enjoy helping other people. So that's what we are doing, for example, in Side Steps. We're all motivated because we want to help other people to improve, not to make the same mistakes. And this is very rewarding to a lot of people. So there is a very high chance that actually that random person to whom you write will reply you and agree to have a call, to have a chat with you. So yes, you're afraid and you have right to be afraid. Um, just try it. And now I will explain to decrease your fear. I want to give you the algorithm actually how to do it and how to prepare for those calls for the, we call it informational interview. So this I gave an example of a message that you can send um, to a person that is of your interest. So it's very simple. You can start by introducing yourself. I would also suggest to clearly state how did you find that person. For example, yeah, my name is Evgenia, and I found you on LinkedIn through job search. Or you can say someone gave me, or you can put a name that's yeah I don't know. Mark gave me your contact through this and this association, for example, or we studied together in the university. It's good to show that it's not, you know, this person appearing out of blue for you, but you actually say that where you found this person. And then suggest to write more about yourself. That what I'm the 5th-year student and blah 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 in this university, and now you say what is actually your goal. That now I'm in the stage of planning of my next career step, and I'm considering to apply as a graduate student to ETH, and I would like to ask a few questions regarding working there and live in Switzerland. So it's important to clearly state the reason of your message. So actually, what do you want from that person and why you contacting him or her? Then you can directly ask for a 30-minute call, propose a time. Would you be available for a 30-minute call next week, for example? Then you can acknowledge the person and say goodbye, nice evening. As simple as that. Nothing to be complicated. Um, just be yourself. You can adapt the structure for anything. Just you know, you can just put your needs, who you are, what you are doing right now, what is your goal. If you're looking for someone for consulting, you just say I'm considering to apply for consulting or to continue my career in the consulting industry, and I would like to ask you a few questions regarding working there. That's it. I hope that would help you and reduce your level of stress when you're contacting random people that you don't know before. And then how to prepare for such an interview. I suggest you look for information about this person. So you show that you did a little bit of your homework. Ideally, you find two common points. You studied at the same university, maybe you worked in the past in the same company, or you, I know, you participated in the same activities. Why this is important is if you can show those similarities during your discussion, during your interview, it's often put the person in more open and warm mood because you have something in common and you have at least something to start the dialogue and you know, to show that you're connected. That's always very kind of welcoming in general. And I always suggest to go for those interview with already prepared a list of questions. And that's also would strongly reduce your stress level when you are ready and you know what you're gonna ask and you know how you plan to conduct actually the talk. Because when you are coming for this talk, it's you're leading it. you start talking. It's not that the other person whom you invite, he will just tell you everything. No, it's you're leading this. So you need to have the list of questions ready. And what actually you can ask? You can ask the detalization questions. Um, you can ask personal experience of that person and ask something that is not publicly available. So it's important to show that you already try to find information by yourself. So don't ask something that is you can Google. That is, there is no point of it. So here you, if it's yeah, as an example here. So for example, I read that in such a country, that's the average salary. You can ask, for example, how does it correspond with the day-to-day expenses? That is, you can Google it, but you can also ask it as a personal experience of someone. What are other possible topics to discuss? The life in a country. Yeah, how is it? Do you like it? What do you like the most of it? What you don't like? How is it different from your country of origin? Um, the career possibilities after, if depending what you're talking about, it can be the next career step, or it can be the career possibilities after finishing the PhD, finishing the program, finishing the universities. It's, of course, the culture in the scientific group or in the team. And this is very important that you connect this with what we discussed in the beginning. What do you actually need? And then it's just you do check, okay, that's checked, that did not check, and so on. And yeah, type of collaboration. So basically everything what we discussed in the beginning. Um, what do you want from the relocation? You can validate here. And this is a very powerful source of information, the source of validation. Mhm. How you actually would conduct the interview? First, you introduce yourself. Introduce and tell the person about yourself again. Even though you already wrote it, please still do it once again. Then again, state your career goal. What do you actually want? Where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve? Again, repeat the goal of the meeting. What do you want to learn from this person? It's very important to ask open questions and not that just finishes yes or no, but that's allow for a person to talk. And it's very important to be genuinely curious about the person. And at the end of the talk, at the end of the talk of the chat, you can also ask one or two contacts with whom you can talk on the same topic. So it's actually sign of kind of propagation of your networking. And when you write already to this one to contacts in those, oh, wait, I can go back. No, so in the original message or email to this person, you would already reference, the person with whom you're talking right now. So it makes you also easier to contact someone. Yes, and what is important to take to bear in mind while you're in this process is try to write down all the answers, because then you will forget it. I will forget it for sure. So I always suggest to actually write and have the track record of it. Try not to go over the set time. Show that you respect the time of someone, and yeah, that you don't just waste the time. And if you have to go over time, please ask if that is okay. If we have still like 3 minutes to talk more. And after the call, write like within 24 hours, ideally, a thank you email to the person, saying again, that it was nice to talk to you, to get to know you, that you learn a lot of stuff, a lot of useful information from him or her. And I also suggest after maybe half a year or few months, you can share a short update how those this information helped you to move forward with your career goal or with your relocation. It's actually always very rewarding um, to understand how you contribute to someone's success and to someone's progress. That is why people agree to talk to you and to help you. Um, yeah, some practical things. How I One way how you can structure all this information, all these people, um, is I use Trello. I use also Trello for my job applications, for example. Um, if you ever use something like this, you can structure it, in the contacts. Then you have some scheduled interviews and past interviews, and you know that in those type of apps, you can have a card, and that corresponds to, for example, one person from that dream company. And yeah, you can just then move this lady from a dream company from contacts to scheduled interviews. And there in those cards, you can write everything. So I find it very convenient to keep track of all the contacts or also of the job applications. And another app that I use always, very almost always, it's Calendly. It's much easier than having a bunch of emails to find a time where you can meet. So basically here you can synchronize with your calendar and also with Zoom. And share with person your schedule, and he or she can just basically book time with you. But here be please very careful. So when you propose to someone to schedule time with you, it should not sound like, please find yourself the time, because you need to talk to them. So make sure that you put it as um, it will like help you to also to find time. So put it in a way that would that be convenient for you to find a suitable time from Calendly. So yeah, just be careful, but it's a great tool because you can also connect Zoom and it's everything automatically, and you avoid really all this emails of scheduling and sending the Zoom links. And it goes automatically to your calendar. Okay, so finishing that part, what we have right now, we have a realistic understanding about a country or a city or a study program or company where you want to go. You also have now the knowledge that is not publicly available, that it's not that easy to Google. You have a revised action plan because probably during the discussions you understood that that group or that city or that country is not really for you because it does not satisfy your criteria that we discussed in the first part. And of course, you have a lot of new people, and those contacts which you talked about moving to Milan. When you actually move to Milan, there would be those first people with whom you can meet directly there and with whom you can start developing your contact at a new place. So they are quite precious at the end. Let's go to the last part, and this is the position search. And what I want to discuss here is a so-called search funnel. Let's see what is that. So, the job search funnel is very similar to a marketing funnel, because actually when you look for a job, you are selling yourself, you're marketing yourself, your skills, your experience, and you sell it to a new company or to your professor who pays you for your skills. So it's actually the same. The ideal funnel, what means an ideal funnel? Uh, it's when you look for a job in the same geography and with exactly the same position that you had before. So basically, there is no changes apart from the company. And how we can read it. So you, for example, send 100 job applications. In the ideal case, you have 30% conversion to the first interview. That means approximately that on the third of your applications, you get a reply. That's actually a very good number just from all over the statistics. From the first interview, it's really good if you have 50% conversion. So if 50% of the first interview goes to the second interview, it's great. And then from the second interview to the job offers, if you have 80%, so this is amazing. Um, why this value always growing? That is also logical because it's kind of if you can feel it intuitively. If you're already invited to the second interview, so most likely the company likes you, or professor, with respect to where you're applying. Uh, Hiring manager likes you, so there is more and more chances. That's what is here. There's a chance, basically, more chances that you get an offer. So this is logical that this value increases through the funnel. But of course, we don't live in the ideal world, right? So there is a next step. It comes the customization of the funnel. What can narrow your search funnel? So narrowing the funnel means lowering all the conversions. The new geography, narrowing it. So once you start, if you're living in one country, you're looking for another, of course, there is less chances that you will get this position or you'll find it. The new scientific topic. Yes, the new industry. For example, the switch from academia to industry, it's also here. And it also can be high competition on the job market, also lower all conversions. If, say, very, very simple, you can just lower all conversions by half. That's why in the very beginning of the presentation, I was saying that try to find the job during the relocation as close to the job that you are doing right now, because then you change the geography that already lowers your funnel or lowers your conversions, and then on top of it you're looking for some new role, so it's an additional complication on top of it. So this is where it reflected all those changes that you're making. Exactly. So it also can be not just the same industry, but the logical continuation. For example, that's why we are saying that it's much easier uh, to to relocate through the PhD program after your master's, because it's again the very logical continuation, and it can be considered that it's the same. Of course, you'll find in a new role, but that is expected career track, let's say like this. But if you're looking from after PhD, you're looking for a project management position, for example, or any other that is not postdoc, not super logical continuation, there can be difficulties. And this is where you can, let's say, quantify those challenges. So what I suggest you to do as again, a homework is to calculate your funnel. Just write what steps typically you have in your processes. You can have 3 interviews. It really depends on your career level and on your industry. You probably know much better how does it structure the job search there. For example, you have sent that amount of applications. Yes, here you can put expected conversions, and you can also calculate it in the responses. And close to this, you put your real values. For example, if you already start looking for a job and you have some data to back this up, some sent applications, some invitations, maybe already job offers. So you can validate your funnel with your real numbers. Yes, and um, I hope that it's easy to just to calculate, divided one by another, and you would see your conversions. And so what is also important here in this process, if you see the fall, like you really, for example, you're sending the CVs, but your conversions to the first interviews are much lower than you expected, then you see that there is something wrong in your process, and it's actually time to take an action. Maybe you need to go to a specialist and to work on your CV. Or if you see that you actually got invited for the first interview, but then you are not able to pass and you cannot go for the second interview, so it's different goal, is a different problem. So you have to work on the skills on how to perform the interview and how to sell yourself to the recruiter or to the line manager. And this is very important um, to find where is the problem, and what can you do with that. As well, using the funnel, you can actually, here go back and say, I want one offer. And then you say, that is my expected conversions. And you calculate back, okay, then I need 2 interviews, I need 8 first interviews, and this is amount of applications I need to send. You calculate it back, and then you may realize that, oh shit, I need to send 100 applications with my conversion, because I know I want to find that dream job that we discussed in the first part of the talk. I want that in that research group. I want that offer, and you realize that it's actually have to send 100 applications. And obviously, there is no 100 position in the dream city on your dream topic. Then you have to, of course, adapt your strategy, and you think, okay, well, how can I widen the funnel? What would what would I do with that? What can I sacrifice to uh, to to increase my amount of applications? Would I go to a different country, for example, or can I go to a different research group? Can I apply not only for industry but also in academia, for example? Or yeah, so that's basically the process of revalidation of your career goal once again. And this another thing that you are getting from this is actually the time frame. We know that interview or the process of interviews can last up to 4 months. So, for example, if you give yourself half a year to find a new job in a different country, you need to understand that all this 100 application needs to be sent within the first 2 months, so that other 4 months are you take into account that you have 4 months of the interview process. So realistically think, when do you want to get this offer, and actually how many applications can you send per week? So there you can estimate the effort that you need to put into this process. Okay, so after this, what would you have in the end? So you have an Excel table with a plan. You will have the conversions with your relocation conditions, your real search funnel. You can also have the real conversion data if you already start looking for a job. You can put and see that it corresponds to what you expected. If you have any problems in your job search process? If yes, then do you want to take any actions or not? You would also have understanding how to widen your search funnel and what you can sacrifice. I call it sacrifice, but where else you can get those applications. And of course, you will have the understanding how many applications you want to send per week and how much effort you need to put into it. Okay, and then we are coming to the end of this discussion. What I want to conclude is, if there is one message that I want you to bring with you from the talk, is please be truly honest and open with yourself. What do you want to do and why you want to do? And there is no need to share this with anyone. And what is the most important is to to be open with yourself and to be honest with yourself. Please talk to people who has relevant experience. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be that's okay, and don't if someone offers you help, also accept it and go for it. And of course, find a balance between your dreams and the reality. You may not have 100 jobs in the city of your dream and in the country of your dream. So what can you sacrifice, at least for now, for your first career step towards your long-term goal? And what can help you in all this way, from the first step to the validation, the networking, and then to actually move into action, is of course to find a mentor, and he will support you all the way. In the classical mentorship, and that's also what we have in Side Steps, it's experienced colleague. It's the people who already made the path that you're envisioning to have. And what is the Side Step program? We create a meeting place for mentors and mentees. Our goal is not only this, but also to create a supportive community where ask questions, where you can get help not only on the career, but also on the mental health, for example, or any other work-related questions that you have. And our approach to mentorship is one-to-one mentorship, individual one, and we also make the matching based on the individual needs of the mentees. And our second season, it's international season. It starts on the 1st of February and lasts for 3 months. We now have a 2-language format. We have a Russian-speaking group, and we also have an international group, an English-speaking group. We have 16 English-speaking and 15 Russian-speaking mentors from all around the world who, from whom you can choose to be your mentor. And of course, from our side, we will do the best that we can to match you with this mentor that you choose. And we actually have now the call of mentors, the call of mentee is open, and the deadline is today. So there is just a few more hours to apply for this and to be enrolled in the program that can help accelerate all the achievement of your goals, including the relocation. Yes, and what we also have in the Side Steps, it's a career coaching. Career coaching is focused on the first part of the talks. What we discuss is defining your long-term career goal. Maybe, of course, today was quite difficult in one or few minutes to do this. So in a career coaching, we work very deep with your career vector and how to, how to make your next career step, which is logical towards your long-term career goal. We also work with your strengths and values, and want to make the strengths and your values put it towards satisfaction and fulfillment on the current your job. So even there is no need to wait for your next job to use it, you can start using it right now. And of course, it's about confronting your personal blockers that maybe not allow you to make some step, or also your fears. And that would allow you to take responsibility for your career and not to be afraid to do something with your life. Right now in Side Steps, we have two coaches that also can help you with all this, and yeah, can support you towards moving to the job that you like. So what I just can say is follow us on our social networks. We have English speaking LinkedIn and English speaking Twitter, and currently our Telegram channel, it's in Russian. Please, if you speak Russian, follow it as well. And here you will find all the information also about open lectures, about our open calls, and yeah, all the latest news will be there. How can you support us? You can be the mentor on our program, you can be mentee, or also invited speakers. Um, we are right now looking for also speakers who could participate in our program and um, present something that can be interesting for our participants. You can also share posts and news with a network so that yeah, more people can know about us and can get support and help that they needed. And also, we are right now looking for a tax advisor or a lawyer who specialize in a non-profit organization in Germany, because we would like to 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 get a registration as a non-profit organization, and that is very important for us. Yeah, and also we are always looking for a contact from non-profit organization with whom we can collaborate and work together and make maybe more meetings or roundtable discussions together. And of course, you can support us with a donation. We can accept euros and rubles as well. So I think for rubles, maybe Ilya would send a link in the chat if possible. Yeah, and this is the PayPal with the euros. That would be also, even the small donation would help us a lot, because currently the program is funded on our money, our personal money, and we do not have any external investor or external support. And I think that is the main what I wanted to share. It's now time for your questions if you have. And also want to thank Yulia Kolodjazhnaya, who worked on the visual design of of this presentation. And that's why it looks so nice. Okay, I think I'm done with my side. And if you have any questions, I will be happy to answer. Let me open the chat. Timely for me. Just need to write that email. Yeah, you mean for the um, uh, informational interview? Yeah. Please, if you have a questions, or if you later would think about any question, you can always contact me or anyone from Side Steps organizers, or directly on the email of contact at Side Steps, and then yeah, we will happily help you and reply your question. Then I think we are done for today. Mhm. Okay, then you can stop. Let's stop recording.